I remember the sting of that moment as if it were burned into my skin. The day I walked into the conference room expecting applause for a promotion I had spent years clawing toward, only to see my sister smiling like she owned the air in her lungs, sliding into the seat I thought was meant for me. My name was nowhere on the memo. The job I had sacrificed sleep, friendships, and parts of my soul for had been given to her. I am Helena Montez, 35 years old, senior bank executive in the tallest glass tower downtown. I have built a career balancing strategy so sharp it could cut glass, and ambition that I have kept hidden like gold buried in a vault. Growing up, my sister and I shared the same meals, the same cramped bedroom, the same whispered dreams under a single flickering light bulb. But when we became adults, our paths split. She learned charm. I learned discipline. I thought there was room for both in the world, until the day she planted herself in the chair I had earned and announced it was hers. My first instinct was to walk away, but pain has a peculiar taste. It is bitter at first, then it turns sharp, and if you let it, it becomes fuel. I smiled that day, even shook her hand, though my fingernails pressed half moons into my palm. She thought she had won, but I saw the crack in her facade, the way her eyes darted when she realized she was now expected to deliver results she did not understand. And I knew something she did not. I never stopped moving. In the weeks that followed, I kept my composure, wearing expensive patience like a silk scarf. I worked late, not because I had been asked to, but because I wanted to know every weakness in her leadership. I noticed how she avoided difficult clients, how numbers she presented slipped under scrutiny, how she mistook attention for respect. I began feeding her subtle ideas, making her believe they were her own, watching as she ran with them, only to fail in execution. Behind the scenes, I cultivated allies, directors, influencers, and even the ones who once doubted me. I sharpened my visibility without ever publicly challenging her. She thought I was the quiet sister, the safe shadow. I was not. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. When the quarter closed and the losses became undeniable, the board called a private meeting. My sister sat to my left, fidgeting with her watch. I listened as questions piled on her like bricks until her posture broke under the weight. That was when I stepped in. Calm, measured, and prepared, I presented a recovery plan. I had numbers, projections, strategies, contingency paths. I spoke with the confidence of someone who has already done the work, because in truth, I had been doing it for months. By the end of my presentation, the room was silent. Then the chairman leaned forward with a smile that was neither warm nor cold, but something between, something like respect. He said they were implementing my plan immediately and wanted me to lead it. My sister's face reddened. Her lips pressed into a thin line as the air shifted from her to me. That was the exact second I understood revenge does not always have to be loud. Sometimes justice is a whisper in a room full of shouts. She avoided me for weeks. But here is the truth. Real justice is not cruelty. I called her back, explained the steps she needed, and when she sputtered with surprise at my willingness, I told her plainly, "You were my sister long before you were my rival." I am not sure she understood the gift I gave her that day. Forgiveness is its own form of dominance, one that leaves an echo they cannot escape. And as I sit now in my office with the city lights painting gold down the glass, I know the real victory is not her failure, but the fact that I never had to betray myself to win. That is the secret. Revenge done without venom lasts longer, because it becomes legacy. Join me next time when I show you how one choice turned enemies into pawns.